Good morning, everybody. It is week 21. Week 21 update post-surgery. I had surgery on March 10th, 2016 at Rex Hospital in Raleigh, North Carolina with Dr. Michael Tyner. The procedure that I had was the SIPS or modified DS, loop DS, SIPS procedure basically. So my highest weight ever, let's get this out of the way. My highest weight ever was 401 pounds. That was the beginning of my pre-op diet. Surgery weight was 379 pounds. Last week I was 285.8 pounds. I know that in my last video I said I was 385.8, which I think is indicative of where I have been for a very, very long time. I've been in the 300s. Hopefully, knock on wood, those days are long over with, but I was actually last week, so I was 285.8. This week I'm 282 even. So since last week I'm down 3.8 pounds for the week. Weight loss since surgery was 97 pounds, and my total weight loss since my highest weight is 119 pounds, which I am elated with. I'm feeling very encouraged. Of course, when you start seeing results is when, you know, you're going to certainly feel encouraged to keep on doing what you're doing. As I mentioned last week, I'm about at 50% of my weight loss goal, so I still have a long, long way to go, but, and some days are easier than others, but something's working, so I'm just going to keep at it, right? Something I wanted to say that's really important to me is I have hit 100 subscribers, which I never would have thought would have happened in a million years. When I first started this channel, I really did it for myself, you know, selfishly. I did it because I wanted to be able to look back and see physically what had changed with me, but also emotionally. I want to see how I had kind of evolved with the transition, or with this journey, or would I change at all? Would I still be myself? What would be different? So it was just, I was looking forward to doing a little bit of self-reflection, and I'm certainly still going to do that, but I never in a million years would have expected, you know, to have this many people subscribing to me and following me. And to be honest, I didn't know that I needed you guys until you showed up. So thank you for your continued and consistent love and support and words of encouragement. I can't even tell you how much they mean to me. They mean the world to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all very much. I know that I am behind in watching all of your videos. I've just been, I guess, distracted. There's no real great excuse, but it is what it is. I do hope to get to them very, very soon. Please bear with me. But anyway, I am going to change things up a little bit today. I'm going to do a what I eat in a day video. I haven't done one of those in a long time. The last one I did was about 3-month mark. It was shortly after I had received some advice from my doctor telling me that I needed to increase my calorie count to about 1,200 calories per day. I was at around 800, 850, and I need to boost it up to 1,200 to avoid a stall, or to avoid stopping losing weight, because my body would go in full on starvation mode. And so he said it's important that I continue to give myself more calories. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do that today. Some days are easier than others. Sometimes I can get to that goal. Sometimes I can't, but I'm going to try today. I feel like today's going to be a good day. We'll see. So what do we need to do? So I've already taken my multivitamins for the day. So I took my 2 multivitamins, and I took some of my medicine, blood pressure pills, which I'm hoping I won't need to do forever. We'll see in a month or two when I get my next set of labs if I can remove the blood pressure medicine altogether. So I took that, and then in a few hours I'll have, in probably about 4 hours, I can start having some calcium, and then I can have some more calcium later on. And then, so anyway, I've taken my first batch of vitamins already today. And let's talk about breakfast. All right, so this is generally what I have for breakfast every morning. I have my coffee, and inside my coffee, I have some Gene Pro protein powder, 1 tablespoon. I take 2 of these stevia in the raws, 0 carbs. And I also do about 3 tablespoons of sugar-free coffee creamer. So this one is a caramel macchiato. I also have, you know, the standard sugar-free coffee mate French vanilla, but I felt like doing some caramel this morning. So then I just mix it up in there, and that's about it. Oh, for those of you who aren't super familiar with Gene Pro, it's an awesome protein powder. It's got 30 grams of protein in 1 tablespoon. It's flavorless. And so it dissolves really well in most liquids. Now I will say, in really hot liquid, it's not super, it doesn't dissolve really well. It gets a little bit of clumps. So what I do is before I add the coffee, I add 1 tablespoon of this. There's a little scoop inside. And I add my 2 stevia. And then I add about 3 tablespoons of this caramel, or whatever the coffee creamer is that I'm going to use. And then I've got this little tiny bitty whisk. And I just mix it together as much as I can. And my goal is to dissolve as much of the protein powder in the caramel, or in the whatever, the coffee creamer as much as possible. And then I'll add the coffee and then stir it up. And it's pretty good. So in my fridge, here, what's going on in my fridge? So up here's my yogurts that I always have. Caramel macchiato, once again. You can tell there's a theme here. They're really great. They're 80 calories each and 12 grams of protein. I believe there's 9 grams of carbs in each, but they're really good. My nut butters that are here. What else? I got some protein powders back there. Here is some turkey sausage, white wine and garlic that I'm going to use in my dinner that I'm going to make for tonight. Down here I have some pimento cheese, which is really great with crackers. It's got lots of fat, 0 carbs, but it's good. My husband's hummus that he loves, pineapple jalapeno. It's pretty tasty. Some eggs, of course. I've got some apple slices, which I'll probably have later on today. My husband's Gatorade. And then my Bloody Mary pickles that I got back there, which are really good. These things I'm going to use. I don't drink milk typically very much anymore. And some half and half, which I'm going to use with the turkey sausage, and some mushrooms and some cheese later for supper. As you guys know, I've talked about it in the videos before, I typically do make my lunches. I make a batch of lunches, like 5 lunches at least, on Sundays. And so today is Thursday, so there's only 2 days left of the week. So here are my lunches for the rest of the week. So I'll have one of those later on today. Let's see, cheese drawer. Let's see. Sometimes I eat these. They're like little salami wrapped cheese. I mean, it says a serving size is 1 package, and like, who's gonna eat that? There's like 6 or 8 of these in 1 package, but it's 330 calories for the entire damn thing. 25 grams of fat, which is a lot. 4 grams of carbs, 26 grams of protein. But I will typically eat 2 of these at a time. Just 2. So maybe, you know, a third of the package or whatever. String cheese, which I love. I'll probably have that for my morning snack later, but y'all will see. And that's about it. So let me go. Oh, I gotta put this back. Coffee creamer can go back in the fridge. And now it's breakfast time, so I'll catch up with y'all when it comes to snack time in a few hours. All right, guys, it is 10 o'clock in the morning, and it is time for my morning snack. I've drank about 45 ounces of liquid so far this morning. So I had my coffee this morning, plus I had 2 17-ounce bottles of water. I stopped for about 30 minutes before I'm going to have this snack. And then after I'm done, I'll wait another 30 minutes, and then I'll continue to drink some more water. So I'm just having 2 cheese strings. It's nothing super fancy. I buy these at Target. They're light string cheeses. In terms of macros, in 1 piece, there's 50 calories, 2.5 grams of fat, less than 1 gram of carbs, and 7 grams of protein. So for both of these 2 things, I'm looking at 100 calories, 5 grams of fat, maybe 1 carb, and 14 grams of protein. That's a good little snack. So I'll catch up with you. Oh, there's my cat. Hey, man. Meow. Meow. Hey, how's it going? Okay. Well, I'm going to go have this snack and I'll talk to you guys around lunchtime. Okay, so it's lunchtime and I forgot about this video, so I started to eat already. But I remembered, so you're gonna see part of my lunch. As I have mentioned before, and you saw in the video, the earlier part of the video when we were in the fridge, I do some cooking in advance on Sundays, typically for the week. So I work from home, my home office, and on my lunch hour, I typically go downstairs. I have a treadmill in my basement, so I go down there and I do that. So I did that today, and because I've pre-cooked my meals and portioned them out in my fridge, all I have to do is go there and grab one out of the fridge and heat it up, and then I can come in here back to my home office and eat it and kind of get back to work. So earlier this week, I made a casserole with some of my favorite components of casserole components. So, you know, casseroles aren't pretty, so I'm hesitant to even show you this because it's so ugly, because it's a casserole. But basically what I did was I take 1 pound of chicken breast, boneless, skinless chicken breast, and kind of pound them out and portion them into, you know, about 6 portions for the whole thing. So I think that works out to about 2.7 ounces per portion of chicken. And then I add a 12-ounce bag of broccoli florets to the whole casserole, and then I add a can of reduced fat cream of mushroom soup to it, because who doesn't love a casserole with cream of mushroom soup? And then I add some mozzarella cheese, which is also lots of protein. Excuse me. And then I'm already getting full. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this. I'm getting full. Got the hiccups. And then I top it off with some caramelized fried onions. So here's what's left of my lunch. It's super ugly, but basically you can see the chicken there, and there's some broccoli, and then like some sauce made out of the mushroom soup and the cheese. So I constructed the recipe in MyFitnessPal, and for 6 portions, it breaks down to this. Per portion, 286 calories. Now that might sound like a lot, but I just burned a lot of calories on the treadmill, and to be honest, I haven't had a whole lot today already. I had some mozzarella, whatever, cheese string for my snack this morning, but 286, that seems a little high for me, but like I said, my doctor says I'm supposed to be upping my calories, so, you know, it's gonna be okay. So 35 grams of protein in this though, and that's mostly due to the chicken as well as the mozzarella cheese. Lots of protein in that. There's also 12 grams of fat in this serving, as well as 10 grams of carbs. So this is a pretty hearty lunch for me. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get through the rest of this as much as I can, and then I'll wait for a couple hours, and then it's snack time, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll see how this goes, this little experiment. All right, I have an update on the lunch situation. Here is the story of my life. Member of the Clean Plate Club. So I was able to finish it all, and all right, guys, it is 4 o'clock, and it's time for my afternoon snack. So I'm a little tired, so I wanted a coffee, so I'm just going to do a quick coffee sort of protein shake for my afternoon snack. So I got a cup. This very complicated recipe, I'm just kidding, it's not complicated at all. So I'm going to have Premier Protein, this is the vanilla, a little single serving of instant coffee, and some flavored syrup. I've got different kinds of flavored syrups, sugar-free syrups. I've got like peppermint, I've got mocha, I've got Irish cream. But today, I'm going to use this one, sugar-free salted caramel. I bought a lot of these when I was doing my pre-op diet, and I was like living on shakes. So I still have some left over. So shake up my Premier Protein. And then I'm going to do this just over ice instead of blending it. So I'll just go ahead and pour it in here. Boom, 30 grams of protein right there. All right, next up, I'm going to add this little pack of, not disgusting, but not super delicious, instant coffee mix. And this is the box. It was like this whole box, and there's 16 servings in here. I think it was like $2 at Walmart. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add that in here. And then I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons probably of this, where's the thing? Of the sugar-free salted caramel syrup. And then I'm just gonna kind of mix it up. Let's take a minute because those little coffee granules will take a minute to dissolve, and we're gonna keep stirring. All right. Just about there. All right. That's pretty much mixed up. And then the last very complicated, try to keep up with me all. The very complicated last ingredient is ice. And I'll just throw some ice in there. If I don't drop the ice all over the damn place. All right. Now that I've put all these enormous ice cubes in there, let's just see if I can get my straw in there. Oh yeah. There you go. Tim Hortons, holla. And that's it. 30 grams of protein in this. And I got my caffeine fix. And the only calories in this whole thing, in 2 tablespoons of this syrup, there's 0 calories and about 1 gram of carbs. And then, of course, the Premier Protein it's 160 calories and has 30 grams of protein. So, boom, very easy. 30 grams of protein for my afternoon snack. And I didn't even have to stop my timer. That's good. Oh, very coffee-y. Very coffee-y. Is that a thing? I dropped an ice cube around here somewhere. I don't know where it is. Womp womp. Anyway, see you at supper time. Okay, it's just about supper time. And if you remember in the beginning of the video, I showed you some of the stuff that was in my fridge, which I have used to make supper for tonight. So I made a quiche. It's, in fact, in this entire quiche, which is an entire pie, there's only 2 eggs, but I used that turkey sausage, which there's 2 full links in it. And it was actually garlic and white wine, flavored turkey sausage, and then I used about 12 ounces of sliced mushrooms, a little bit of thyme, salt and pepper, about half a cup of Parmesan cheese, and like I said, 2 eggs. I added half a cup of milk and half a cup of half and half cream. I modified this recipe a little bit. The actual recipe called for an entire cup of half and half cream, but that's just too much fat for me. So I substituted, you know, half and half, and then half milk. It called for lots of butter in the recipe, but I, you know, kind of cut that out. For example, when I was, you know, instead of adding butter to, when I was frying up or browning up the sausage, I just used Pam. Same thing when I was cooking all the mushrooms with the thyme, I just used Pam, not butter. It does call for 2 tablespoons of butter for the entire pie. But here, let me show you. Okay, so here is the whole pie. Actually, here's half of the pie. You can see. Lots of Parmesan cheese. You can see that kind of crustiness happening. And I started to portion some of it out. So there's a quarter of the pie. That'll be my husband's dinner for tonight. And then mine will be half of his. So it's an eighth of a pie. It's not really great to see. So it's an eighth of a pie. He'll get the full quarter. And then so the other half of mine I kind of set aside. The crust is all broken, boo, and it kind of fell apart. That's the way it goes for the first piece that comes out, right? So I'll set that aside and I'll have that another time. But that's what I'm gonna have tonight. He'll probably have that big piece and maybe a salad or something like that. That will be more than enough for me. So that's what I'm gonna have tonight. So in terms of macros for this particular recipe, once again, you know me, I put it in my Fitness Pal, and it's not too bad. So for my portion, which is an eighth of the pie, and that includes the deep dish Pillsbury pie crust that I use, which is the majority of the carbs, I believe. It's pretty equal in terms of macros. So my piece will have 241 calories. It'll have 14 grams of protein, which isn't awesome, but it could be worse. So 14 grams of protein, 14 grams of fat, and then 15 grams of carbs. Like I said, the majority of the carbs in this recipe is the pie crust. But you know, for me, I'm only having an eighth of it, which is doable. So 241 calories is not too bad. Still gives me lots of wiggle room for the rest of the evening. And the only other thing that I'm going to have is an evening snack later this evening. So that's what's up for supper. All right, guys, this is basically my last quote-unquote meal of the day. It's kind of my dessert, I suppose. I typically like something a little bit sweet for my last meal. It's almost, like I said, kind of like dessert. So what I'm having tonight, I'm going to have a little bag of apples. 25 calories in this whole bag, and there is 1.8 ounces in it. So there's 25 calories, 7 grams of carbs, 0 protein, of course. And then I have portioned out some peanut butter cup with cocoa, sort of nut butters. I think I showed you some of this in another video, but in terms of the macros, for 2 tablespoons, which is what I have portioned out right here. In 2 tablespoons, there is 170 calories, 14 grams of fat, 9 grams of carbs, and 7 grams of protein. So this stuff is pretty good. And like I said, I just pre-portioned 2 tablespoons into this little cup, and I will dip my apple slices into this and devour. Hey guys, just kind of wrapping up the day. It was a pretty good day. I feel pretty good about it. In terms of macros and numbers and all that good stuff, my goal was 1,200 calories for the day. I got to 1,150 today, which is pretty darn close, 50 calories shy. So in terms of macros, let's see. Okay, so for protein, I hit 129 grams of protein. So that's really good day. Fat, I hit 56 grams of fat, and for carbs, I hit 48 grams of carbs. So I feel that was a successful day. I didn't really feel that I was necessarily hungry or too full or uncomfortable. I feel like that was doable. So much better than my first video when I did what I eat in a day. So I'm really pleased with that. Thanks for hanging out with me all day, and I'll catch up with you guys next week. Mwah. Bye.